Good morning, students. Today's class we will see about the final year BSc Nursing Degree Supplementary Examination Model Question Paper 2016 Scheme Nursing Education. The first, it is a long essay. It states principles of curriculum planning, describe the steps of curriculum planning, of 12 marks. So the principles of curriculum planning, it has been stated nations live in the present on the past for the future. Forward looking principles, that means today's children are the citizens of tomorrow. Creative principle, principle of totality for the activity principle, principle of preparation for the life, principle of connecting to life, training for leisure, child-centered curriculum, principle of integration and correlation, principle of comprehensiveness and balance, principle of loyalties, the principle of variety and flexibility, principle of connecting to community needs, principle of social life, principle of core or common subjects, principle of all-round development of body, mind and spirit, principle of democracy, secularism and socialism, principles of dignity and of labor, principle of character building. The steps in the curriculum planning include formulation of education objectives, selection of learning experience, effective and efficient organization of learning experience, and evaluation of the curriculum. One more step we can add as a first step, the formulation of the educational philosophies. Short essays. First one is qualities of an education evaluation tool. Explain the methods of assessing knowledge of students. Qualities of educational tool. So, educational tools serve as variety of uses regardless of the type of the tool used or how the result of evaluation are to be used. All type of evaluation should be possess certain characteristics. The most important one are objective basedness, comprehensiveness, objectivity, discriminating power, reliability, validity, and usability. First was objective basedness. Each item or the question should have all well-defined predetermined criteria or objectives behind. This can be in accordance with the criteria specified in this taxonomy of educational objectives. Each question should represent an objective base upon which the response can be scored. Second is comprehensiveness. A tool is said to be comprehensive if it covers all teaching points to be learned by the teacher, and it should also cover all predetermined objectives. Next is objectivity. A tool is said to be objective if it is free from personal bias of interpreting its scope as well as in scoring response. Objectivity has two aspects: objectivity of questions and objectivity of scoring. Discriminating power. Every item should be helpful to discriminate people on the basis of their real attainment. It is the power of an item or question to discriminate students on the basis of their performance. Too easy and too difficult item will reduce the discriminating power. Reliability. Reliability refers to the consistency with which the tool can measure desired criteria. A test score is called reliable when we have a reason for believing the score to be stable and trustworthy. It refers to a consistency of scores obtained by the same individual when re-examined with the same text on a different occasion or with different set of equivalent item or under with other variable examining conditions. Validity. A test valid if it measures what it is intended to measure. That is, it is the extent to which the measurements instrument measures what it is supposed or designed to measure. A type of validity are content validity, criterion related validity, and construct validity, face validity. The third question, explain the methods of assessing the knowledge of the students. So it is a part of the second question. Assessment of knowledge. The method used to assess the knowledge of the learners are educational tests or achievement tests to assess the intellectual level of the students. There are four types: essay type questions, short answer questions, multiple choice questions, and viva voice. Third question, principles of use in the use of ABA. Describe projected aids. Principles used in the age area are principles in selection. They should be suit the age level, grade level, and other characteristic of the learners. It should be interesting and motivating. They should be true representative of the real things. They should have realization of desired learning objective. Second is principle of preparation. As far as possible, locally available material should be used. The teachers should receive some training in preparation aids. The teachers themselves should prepare some of the aids. Students may associate the preparation of the aids. Third, principle in handling, arrangement of keeping the aids safely and also facilitate lending to the teachers for the use. Principle of presentation. Teachers should carefully visualize the use of teaching aid before their actual presentation. They should be fully familiar themselves with the use and manipulation of aids. Adequate care should be taken to handle an aid in such a way no damage is done it. The aid should be displayed properly so that all students are able to see it, observe it, and derive maximum benefit out of it. Principle of response. Teacher guide the students to respond activity to the AVA stimuli. Principle of evaluation. Continuous evaluation is necessary. The projected aims include film strip, opaque projector, and OHP overhead projector, PowerPoint presentation, televisions, LCD panels. Value of projected aviates include they are the best motivators, they are the best of student work with more interest and zeal, they are the real more attentive. Clear image. These images are formed when we see, hear, touch, taste, smell, as well as in our experience are direct, concrete, and more or less permanent. Learning through the senses become the most natural and consequently the easiest. Variety. Audiovisual aids provide variety and gives different tools in the hand of the teacher like models, transparencies, etc. Helpful in attracting attention. Attention is the true factors in any process of teaching and learning. Saving energy and time. A good deal of energy and the time of both teacher and the students can be saved on account of use of AVAs as the most concepts and phenomena may be easily clarified, understood and assimilated through their use. Antidote to disease of verbal instructions. They help to reduce verbalism. They help in giving clear concept and thus help to bring accuracy in learning. Spread of education in the mass scale. It helps to provide education to the people who live in the remote areas. They also help in promoting adult education, helpful in attracting attention. Attention is the true factors in any process of teaching and learning. Characteristic of projected aids, they are meaningful, purposeful, accurate in every aspect, they are simple, cheap, up-to-date, easily portable, according to the mental level of the students, they motivate learners. They should be large enough to be properly seen by the students for whom they are meant. They should be improvised. Hidden importance of projected aids include it motivates students' mental and physical activities, save time, helps to bring change in the atmosphere of the class, help to develop scientific attitude and get training in scientific method. Large number of students can taught at the same time. Most convenient, easy and natural way of learning. Make learning effective and durable. Help people to have a clear conception of ideas, information, facts and principles. Short note, the first one is micro-teaching. Micro-teaching is one of the innovations in the field of technology of teaching. It is one of the teacher training techniques. The characteristics include it's a new experience or innovation in the field of teacher education, more specifically student teachers. Only one teaching skill is considered at a time. Not important to the subject content, they should concentrate only on the teaching skill. To scale down, teaching scale down the class size to the 5 or 10 to students, scaling down duration of the period to 5 to 10 minutes, size of the topic and the teaching skill. Multiple dimensions of feedback from the teacher educators, student teachers and video tape. It is like cyclical activities are planned, teach, feedback and replan, reteach, refeedback until you master in a particular skill. This is a micro teaching cycle. Advantage, it enables a professional teacher to evaluate his own teaching behavior. It offers opportunity in-service teachers to learn and try out new curriculum materials. It used during the interviews in education institutions for selection of the teacher. Micro-teaching helps in reducing complexities of normal classroom teaching. It is a simple approach. It is convenient and controlled research tool. It is economical device because it saves staff time. Here the student remains active, proceeds according to his own pace, provides better rehearsal ground. Here the learning becomes efficient, pleasant and permanent. Disadvantage, it is a skill oriented and not content oriented. Teacher educator requires adequate training in micro teaching before it is implemented. If it's alone not sufficient, it should be integrated with other techniques like interaction analysis, stimulated teaching, etc. The question of integrating skill is quite challenging. It disturbs normal class timetable. Fifth one is current trends and issues in nursing education. The trends in nursing education include curriculum changes, innovations in teaching and learning, educational quality assurance, more reliance on technology, emphasis on high-tech, high-touch approach, preparation of global nurses, ensuring a promising career, emergence of new specialties, increased opportunity for higher studies, preference to short-term clinical programs than postgraduate programs, potential shortage of nurse educators, diminishing government role, uniformity and standardization. The issues in nursing education are social issues, emotional issues, ethnic issues, gender issues, economic issues, cultural issues, and girl education. Discipline, security, expression of violence have increased the culture and so far the violence in the schools. And race, ethnicity, and equality, mainstreaming, public versus private institutions. OSCE. OSCE is a design to test the clinical performance, just communication, clinical examination, nursing procedure by a student in clinical area where the student is asked to perform a particular task on a patient and is evaluated by the examiner. OSCE is designed to assess the competencies and skill performs the chemical analysis, identification of equipment, and interpretation of result. OSCE or OSCE is designed to overcome the deficiencies in traditional practical examination. The method assessment is more objective because the complex clinical competence is broken down into smaller components. This leads to better sampling of the clinical skills to be tested and improves the validity of OSCE and OSPE. All students are tested for the same competencies and all students are provided with the same duration of time. In this method, predetermined decisions are made on the competencies to be tested and the checklists are prepared to evaluate important skill. Scoring of particular competencies is done by same examiner for all students. These modifications in the clinical examinations improve its validity and reliability. It is objective, that means all students are assessed on the same skills at the same stations with the same marking scheme. Here the examiners use checklists for evaluating the trainees, hence it is more objective. It is structured, both the better sampling from all elements of the curriculum have trainees sees the same problem and performs the same task in the same time frame. Clear instructions has to be given to avoid any confusion or delay. Clinical and practical, the tasks are the representative of those faced in the real clinical situations to assess the clinical performance practical skill. The students are asked to respond to only the question or scenario which given in each station. Seventh question is unit plan. The planning for the unit is known as unit plan. Usually after the year plan or the mass rotation plan, the teacher plans the unit plan. So the year plan should therefore ready before one start preparing the unit plan. The characteristic of unit plan include it effectively in terms of word rather than the fraction, developmental and therefore provide the vertical and horizontal integration of learning experience. Effective when understanding and acceptance of goal to be achieved and there is a full and free participation in planning for the attainment of those goals. Necessity of providing for individual difference in rates of learning and interest. Unit planning recognizes that true learning renders the learners increasingly skilled in self-directions. Unit planning provides sound basis for evaluation. Type of unit plan. The subject matter plan like topical unit, the generalization unit based on significant aspect of environment or culture, experience unit. Unit planning in nursing course, since there is a wide applicability of all type of unit planning in nursing course, the term teaching learning unit has been used to describe the unit planning in nursing course. The term teaching learning unit embeds the new concept of unified learning experience involving the comprehensive problems or projects which are important to the nursing students. Essential activities of the unit plan: selection and statement of objective, selection and the type of unit to be used, selection of the learning situation, selection of knowledge components, selection of organizing centers like learning and teaching activities, selection of method of evaluation. The eighth question is aim of education. The first aim is utilitarian aim, skills required by child for leading his day-to-day life. Second is vocational aim, to earn livelihood. Social aim, the productive member of society and work for the betterment of society. Intellectual aim, intelligence is essential for thinking, reasoning, judgment and generalization. Citizenship, physical health and well-being, character development. According to Mahatma Gandhi, education to develop certain attitudes, values and habits which are essential for building a desirable character, and it is supreme aim of education. Scientific advancement and mechanization. Education helps to balance between technology-driven life and life of leisure. Adjustment to the objective and subjective aspect of life. Cultural development, self-realization, what we are, God's gift to us, and what we become is our gift to God. Mental and emotional development, autonomous development, self-education aim, international understanding, harmonious development of mind, body, and spirit, education for leisure, individual aim. Educator's task is to develop each individual according to his capacities and intelligence. Knowledge aim, or which is one of the oldest aim of the education to get more knowledge. Morality aim, spiritual aim. Types of discipline. There are authoritarian discipline. This is a traditional form authority all over young, punishment for undesirable behavior. Democratic behavior, students and teachers have mutual participation. Self-discipline is one of the true discipline. Satisfying need of the self-respect and security. Assertive discipline, that is the clear expectation for required behavior is set out by the teacher. Specific, concrete and verbal praises are given for the desired behavior, negative reinforcement for the undesired behavior. Preventive discipline, preventing misbehavior, that is to provide a stimulating curriculum that involves the students to successfully that they spend little time thinking and misbehaving. Supportive discipline, corrective discipline. Principles of education is the educative process must start with the utilize the child's innate nature, emotions, capabilities. Thinking takes place when there is a problem and have three steps. That means presence of a problem, search for a solution, and testing the solution. Physical and mental development bound together. So thinking and hard work closely related. Conditions of satisfaction essential for the development. Maxims of teaching. The maxims of teaching are accepted general rule or conduct or laws which essentially to follow by the teacher while teaching. They proceed from known to unknown, concrete to abstract, simple to complex, easy to more difficult, proceed inductively, general to specific, specific to general, empirical to rational, wall to part, part to wall, analysis to synthesis, indefinite to definitive, overview to details, observing to reasoning, psychological to logical. Qualities of a good teacher. It includes desirable personal traits like likable, approachable, caring, active, neat appearance, dress modestly, simple, sense of humor. Second, use of effective teaching method. Third is a creator of good classroom environment that encourages the students, paying special attention to the weak students, controlling the students. Mastery competence, ability to inspire students, providing guidance and counseling, ability to judge the students fairly, possess leadership skills, evaluate the students' performance, able to perform self-analysis and able to accept criticism positively. Difference between naturalism and pragmatism. The principles of pragmatism include man considered as an essentially biological and social organism. Knowledge should be experimentally verified and should be useful for the learner. Faith in man's capacity to shape his destiny, no absolute values. Only those theories which work in practical situations are true, and deep faith in democracy. Consider the learner as a growing biological and social being ready to adjust the environmental demands. Aim is to prepare the child to face challenges of life. Education prepares the child to become effective member of the society. Naturalism in education stands for the doctrine to follow the nature. In education, it wants all education to be strict conformity with the nature of the child. It stands for the complete freedom to be given to the child in learning. Naturalists do not advocate fixed curriculum. Every child is given right to determine his own curriculum. The learner expected to learn directly from nature to the personal experience. Learning by doing. Naturalists are not favor of direct teaching to the lecture of textbooks. They emphasize is on the value of concrete object. Naturalism advocate direct experience of things and believe in the principle of learning by doing. Second is the workshop and simulation. Workshop is defined assembling of 10 to 25 people who share a common interest or a problem. They meet together to improve their individuals and skill of a subject through intensive study, research, practice, discussion. Purpose to help improve the knowledge. It improves opportunity for learning. It helps evolving policies, programs, and methodologies. It provides more interaction and discussion from the participants. It is collective thinking process to solve the problems. It helps participants to express freely and exchange ideas. But in this other way, simulations provide opportunity for the students to think critically, problem solve, use clinical reasoning, and care for a diverse patients in non-threatening, safe environment. The use of human patient simulators have become common practice, and simulation-based pedagogy allows students to integrate the psychomotor skill performance, critical thinking, clinical judgment, and communication skills while gaining confidence in the clinical setting, and also offers an opportunity for assessment and remediation of skills and continued learning. Thank you. Thank you for listening.